Fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo, and I am here with a collection of Rolex sport models that are getting a lot of attention recently, and I certainly think you need to be paying attention to them if you haven't already. I'm talking, of course, about the Rolex Sea-Dweller. Fans of Rolex know it. Fans of Rolex love it. It's their most capable line of dive watches, and it has such a rich history. One of the greatest investment pieces you could really make in the pre-owned watch game. We are blessed to have an entire collection of pretty much the entire modern reference of this fantastic model. And so I'd like to just take a minute to show you what we have to offer, a few slight differences between the two, and possibly help you figure out what's the perfect one for you. Now, some of you real aficionados and collectors might have already heard this before, so bear with me. This is going to be for the people looking for their first Seadweller. Starting the oldest one we have, the reference goes all the way back to the 60s, specifically dealing with some of the problems that the Submariner had when it came to saturation diving. Not even specifically going deeper into the ocean, although these sea dwellers definitely can, but staying underwater longer. And that sort of is what gives it its namesake and sort of why it's called the Sea Dweller. Whereas the Submariner was originally designed to go underwater, the Sea Dweller was designed to stay there. And that is what these watches are so great at. Now, the oldest reference we have here is going to be a five-digit reference, the 16600. This is a great watch that I really love. They kept it really similar to the comparable Submariners from this generation. It stayed with the 40-millimeter case, and it does have the same aluminum insert bezel that people who are more familiar with the Sub might know a little bit better. One of the main additions that it has is with the helium escape valve. That is one of the things that sort of separates the Sea Dweller from the Submariner, and one of the things that makes it a more capable dive watch in and of itself. Other than that, everything's essentially the same. The case is slightly thicker, and it does have the same type of bracelet. This is one for a dive watch that was definitely meant to sort of stay within the same sort of fashion parameters as the Submariner. They intentionally didn't make it a lot beefier, and to be honest, with the exception of the lack of a Cyclops crystal here, at first glance you might have a pretty hard time spotting the difference between that and a similar reference Submariner. It's a great watch, especially if you're looking for a really sporty, really capable dive watch, but you don't want to get much bigger, because that is exactly what we're going to do as we come down the line. This one was followed up by the 11600, which was a much rarer piece. It was actually only in production for 3 years, from 2014 to 2017, as opposed to this 5-digit reference, which stayed in production for an astonishing 20 years. So this is really one of the prouder accomplishments Rolex had, that there was such a high demand for this watch for so long, from 1989 all the way to 2009. They made hardly any changes to this reference, and they kept that same reference number the whole time. And so after 20 years of this 5-digit reference finally being retired, there was a brief intermission before they reintroduced a 6-digit reference, the 11600. This has actually only been in production for 3 years, from 2014 to 2017. So while it's still relatively fresh on the minds of a lot of people and is still very available, highly recommended as an investment piece, because in the grand scheme of things, the production of this piece was fairly limited. And this is a piece I can definitely predict is going to be worth a ton in the future. Now from there, this is where we get really big, really sporty, and really beefy, where they switch to the 12600, but more popularly known as the Seadweller Deepsea. Now, is it a Seadweller? Is it just a Deepsea? Is it both? It's hard to say, but this is definitely the most capable dive watch Rolex ever came out with. We have this edition in black, still has the helium escape valve, although I think you can even notice from this far away, this is a much thicker case. This is meant to go much deeper. This is meant to perform underwater in a way that very few watches ever had before. Still has the helium escape valve. The case, not only being thicker, has been widened all the way to 44 millimeters, which is, I think, to date, the largest Rolex dive watch they've ever made. Still has a lot of the same characteristics. It does still have the ceramic bezel that they upgraded to for this generation, as well as a much thicker case, and something that is called the Easy Clasp here, which is a great way to size the watch from whether you're within the wetsuit or whether you're just trying to make adjustments for the summertime, where you can actually slide this watch forward and backwards to make quick adjustments to the size, which is a fantastic addition that Rolex made for the ergonomics and just the general wearability of their dive watches. This also came in a much more popular and collectible reference, the Cameron D Blue Dial. This here meant to commemorate James Cameron traveling to the bottom of the Marianas Trench in a submarine. So just remember, if you make a big budget Hollywood movie about submarines and about shipwrecks, they might let you go in one too. From there, this is where we are at the modern version of the Seadweller, and one of my personal favorites myself, where we finally get to the modern version and they've made yet another change to it. This one here, with the single redline Seadweller, they have since changed it to a 43 millimeter case, which I think kind of fits nicely in between the older style references where they were essentially mimicking the look of the Submariner without making too many changes, but still scaling it down a little bit from just the sheer grandiosity of this Deepsea 44. Love a lot of things about this watch. Not only is it available with this beautiful red line here, which is a homage to the original Seadwellers that came with that red line, but it's now, for the first time in its history, available in two-tone, which we also have in stock. And I think what you might notice about these two references, something that they have not done in the entire run of this fantastic dive watch line, is they finally did add the Cyclops eye to the date, which is something that until now was only available on the Submariner. The fact is, if you are in the market for a Seadweller, we have all the modern references here right now. We are very blessed to have an abundance of inventory here, some of them even totally unworn, and with box and papers if you were looking for those as well. So give us a call. If you have any more questions about the Submariner or Seadweller for that matter, feel free to give us a call. We are full of knowledge, and there has also been a ton written on this subject, more than you could really go down a rabbit hole if you want to. It's a fantastic line if you're looking for a watch that's meant to perform in the water, or if you're just looking for a bigger, sportier diver than you might have seen in your Submariner. This is the line to look at. So give us a call, like and subscribe if you haven't already, or shoot us an email if you've got any questions at SwissWatchExpo.com.